This is the S61 Stradivarius from Maybach Guitars. Not another Maybach guitar, you might think, but this one is special. But before I start to analyze the guitar, please make sure to subscribe to the channel, join the TGH Discord server for more lessons, and if you make it to the end of the video and pull something out for you, leave a like and let me know your thoughts in the comments. So let me structure that video a little bit. First off, I'm gonna talk about the specs of this guitar. Then we're diving a little deeper and analyze the guitar. And I'm not literally taking the guitar apart, but I'm having a close look at all the details that makes this guitar
great again.
And then I'm giving my 5 cents on the instrument. And of course, in between, there's always some sound examples. Okay, let's start with the specs. Therefore, I may introduce to you the wonderful Mr. Spec, who will show you the specs of this guitar in its finest details. The body is constructed out of 2 pieces of alder. The bolt-on maple neck is 25.5 inches long and made out of the finest maple Maybach guitars can get, and the matching fretboard is made out of Indian rosewood. This fretboard contains 21 medium jumbo frets, and at the top we have go to ST90 tuners. Just like a classic Strat, we have 3 single coil pickups built into the body, which are wired in the typical 60s manners. 1 volume control and 2 tone controls. The bridge pickup can not be controlled by the tone control. The pickups, like on all Maybach guitars, are from amber, and that's basically it. Ta-da! We have a S61. But what makes this guitar really stand out? I'm going to discuss that in 4 different points: construction, feel, sound variety, and optics. Let's start with the construction. The body is well formed and economic and feels slightly lighter than on my other S-type guitars, which speaks for the selection of the wood, I think. If I take, for example, the Pacifica from there and I lay it on my lap, I recognize that the Yamaha compared to the Maybach feels slightly edgier and doesn't lean that smooth and balanced on the leg. I mean, it's nuances, no big issues, but I can reassure you that a lot of tiny differences in the end can also make a big difference overall. So back to the S61. The neck is straight and also well set up. I checked that before. Good. The electronics cavity seems neat to me as well. I'm not opening up right now, but I'll show you pictures here. All seems nice and tidy, like your mom loves your bedroom. I'm sorry. And remember, this is a standard guitar. I have seen guitars, believe me, in the same price range and opened up the cavity and the color splinted off. Only half of the cavity was covered with aluminum foil. Horrifying. I'm not just saying any names, but Fender. The tuners are okay, not end of the line. Only tiny issue is the tuning machine on the G-string. This screw here was a little bit too tight, and in my opinion, when these screws are too tight, tuning stability is not as given as it should be. And that's basically it construction wise. Some tiny issues, no major problem.
Major problems.
And all very well constructed. 9.5 out of 10. So let's talk about feel. Feel is a touchy subject because that's so unique and individual. In summary, when we talk feel, I think what we talk about is what seems familiar to me. Does it fit to my taste? Does it feel comfortable? All individual aspects. Some people prefer thick, chunky necks, some wide, thin, some like chunky bodies, and some needed to be super ergonomic. I, for myself, don't have any preferences. When I touch an instrument, let it sit on my lap and grab it just right away, I decide in that moment if the guitar gives me a good feeling. I can't even tell you why. It's like going to someone else's home when you visit someone at home and enter the house, or at least I immediately decide if I feel comfortable or not. Do I like the interior? How's the smell? Are the hosts nice? Are we on the same page? Is the home clean? All these little things that make you immediately decide if you like that place or not. It's the same with guitars for me. It's not just the neck, it's not just the body, the pickups, the feel when I touch it, the smell. It's when all these details come together, you'll get a good feel. That's when I know that's your guitar. As I said, highly individual, and I can promise here, if I like 3 or 4 things on the guitar, but one thing is bugging me, it's not my guitar.
The wand chooses the wizard, Mr. Potter.
So let me fiddle around a little bit with the guitar, and then I'm going to tell you what my feel is on this guitar. What can I say? It just feels good. I just feel well playing the guitar. It feels smooth. I can play chords easily. I can pick up speed while playing. The action is just perfect, and I didn't adjust shit. The neck is neither too flat nor too chunky. It's ergonomic. The controls are not too close or too far away from the strings. That's a thing that's really bugging me on the other guitars. On this, there's nothing to complain about feeling wise on this guitar. I love it. So why should I search for something when it's just perfect? Thanks guys, 10 out of 10. So let's talk sound variety. This guitar feels great, but does it sound good as well? Careful, this is also personal preference. But just to be clear, in this price range, I expect a guitar from a technical perspective, including pickups, nothing but flawless. I mean, seriously, if you spend over 1,000 euro on a guitar, it needs to be in absolute perfect condition when it comes to the electronics, the build quality, and the used materials. Period. No discussion about that. Everything else like sound is personal preferences. Do you like it more or less compressed? Do you like the sound more open? Do you want a wide variety of the sounds, or do you focus on a specific sound? This is all questions that you should include in the thoughts before you decide which guitar type you want to buy. However, there's 2 things I want to experiment with and find out what the S61 is able to deliver sound-wise. First thing, tonal versatility, because I have 3 pickups that deliver a different sound when I'm in clean mode as well as when I'm in a slightly crunched mode. Let's go to a slightly crunched tone. By the way, I'm using my Quad Cortex. I'm gonna link down in the description the pre-made preset. Okay, we have clearly some loudness differences. The neck and the bridge pickup are significantly louder than the mid pickup and the in-between position. That could easily be adjusted with a pickup height, so no major deal, but maybe a task for Maybach guitars to have a better eye on that in the future. Sonically wise, I love the word. The neck pickup sounds round and warm as expected. The bridge pickup sounds noisy and harsh as expected, and the mid pickup is, well, combines somehow both worlds together, and then the in-between positions we leave to Mark Knopfler. Now, seriously, these sounds are so specific and not really my taste. I just used them on Dire Straits songs, to be honest. What's also interesting is the dynamic range of the guitar, especially in slightly crunched sounds that can make a big difference experimenting with different gain and dynamic stages when you work with these controls to achieve more sound variety. I'm gonna show you that. For classic rock songs type, I don't know, Hendrix or something, I would dial back the volume control for verses, and in the chorus I would crank it up again to have a wonderful dynamic transition between both parts. That is definitely a quality sign. Cheap guitars that are unmodded wouldn't be able to draw a sound palette like this, I believe. Therefore, thumbs up for a huge sound variety when using the volume due to the unexceptional selection of the pickups. 10 out of 10. And now, optics. My favorite part. So as we all know, and I have to look that up on my phone that I don't misspell. De gustibus et coloribus non est disputandum. You can't argue taste. Some combinations work, and Sunburst is, at least on a Strat type guitar, an absolute evergreen. To me, on this guitar type, the color combination does its job and it works. Nothing special, it just works.
Mine ain't nothing special, but this boy gets the job done.
One could argue that it's boring. I don't agree. Never change a running system in my mind. And other than on a Strat, I would never accept Sunburst. On a Lester, yikes. On a Tele, oh. On an offset, maybe. Depends on the rest of the parts. Maybe with these wood look, pickguard, don't know what's the correct term in this Kurt Cobain style, you know what I mean? But on a Strat, absolutely gorgeous. Aging, well, depends. If you like, do it on your own, play a hell lot of gigs, wear a studded belt, smash it to the wall, play live and transport it in shitty cases in the tour van, or watch 6-string TV's video on how to age guitar. That's all possible. My 5 cents on the guitar: if you want a classic looking Strat with a 60s configuration, if you want a very well built guitar, if you want sound variety, if you want a well crafted instrument, choose this instrument. And for what Maybach delivers here, that's a really fair price for an instrument that could play in the same range of others companies' custom shop guitars. Does that make sense? I think so. Of course, if you are someone who wants a specific name on a headstock, you're not finding it here, but if you appreciate good, valuable craftsmanship for a fair amount of money, here you go, choose that. Great constructed, great feel, an absolute classic design, makes me a very happy owner of this guitar, and thanks, I'm not giving it back, not seriously. Check those Maybach guys, they deserve it. Follow them on TikTok because I host the channel there. Remember, rock and roll starts in your fingers and ends in your equipment, not the other way around, and I'll catch you in the next hangout.